So now we come to the last of my superhero prediction videos, where I'm going to talk about the Man of Steel. So am I excited for Superman? Do you even need to ask? So, Superman, the Man of Steel, directed by Zack Snyder and produced by Christopher Nolan! Yes! When it comes to the Man of Steel, this is, in my mind, the most anticipated movie of the year. Say what you want about Thor, say what you want about any of the other superhero movies or anything else coming out this year, people are really looking forward to see Superman. I remember when I saw Superman Returns, or at least I was looking forward to it all year. I mean, like, when I saw the trailers and everything, I was like, this looks gonna be so awesome. Superman's gonna move from, like, 5th in my favorite superheroes to number 2. I know it. Maybe even number 1 if it's really good. I was just like, it's gonna be awesome. It looks so amazing. Meh. And it was so meh. There was nothing great about it. There was a couple of good things about it, a couple of very bad things about it. Kryptonite Mountain. I mean, it was one of the most forgetful superhero movies I've ever seen. It has Stalker Clark. It has a lot of stuff that's just not that good. And so the real problem was it was really just trying to recapture the spirit of Superman, the old movies, without realizing, we've kind of moved on as a culture. So DC finally does what they should have done all along, reboot this sucker. And it has the name of what was going to be the Superman Returns sequel, Man of Steel. You ever wonder if people who don't watch superhero movies or read comic books would be confused? I mean, like, we're going to watch The Dark Knight. Oh, a fantasy movie about a Dark Knight. Why so serious? You know, maybe people think, oh, we're watching Man of Steel. I mean, oh, it's about an iron worker? I don't know. I'm just saying. Heck, you can even say that for Iron Man. Oh, we're watching a movie about a guy who sells irons. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. What do we get from the trailer of The Man of Steel? Well, we get a lot of stuff because there's been a new trailer. I talked about the old trailer in my new segment Trailer Rate, which I still have to do another episode on sometime. I get busy. Anyway, so we got a lot of stuff going on. We got Krypton being destroyed. We got Clark Kent having to find out who he is, the journey of what kind of man he wants to be, what kind of man he's going to grow up into. We have the whole journey of him, finding out where his place is in the world. Is the world ready for him? Should he even let himself to be known to the world? We have a whole bunch of different themes. And then we have Zod. You were nearly before Zod. Of course, they say they're not going to say that line, but you know what? Christopher Nolan also said that Talia al Ghul wasn't in The Dark Knight Rises, so, he can lie. So, we got Henry Cavill as Superman. We got an odd choice of Kevin Costner. Not a bad choice, but a different choice of Kevin Costner as Pa Kent. We got Russell Crowe as Jor-El, which was a truly inspired choice. The only thing is, he doesn't look like much of a scientist, does he? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained by me pouring this test tubes? Anyway, back on the point. So, we got Henry Cavill as Superman. Now, this story really I think it's going to focus on the human side of Superman, and him being a Kryptonian, that's going to be hard. What I mean is how he struggles with being a human.
You're the answer, son. You're the answer to are we alone in the universe?
Can I just keep pretending I'm your son?
You are my son. I have to believe that you were sent here for a reason. And even if it takes the rest of your life, you owe it to yourself to find out what that reason is.
Being in this human world and not being human, they have that little scene where he's a kid and he's like, "Can't I just pretend that I'm your son?" And he's like, "You are my son." That's ripped off straight from Superman Secret Origins. I think even in the very intro, I think David S. Goyer, who wrote this movie, even did the introduction to Superman Secret Origins and said that was such a great line. I think he totally ripped it off from Jeff Johns, personally. But anyway, we're going to have to deal with Superman. Is the world ready for Superman? What's the government's going to react to him? He's going to have to deal with Lois Lane and Perry White, who's played by Lawrence Fishburne. And Lois Lane, of course, who is played by Amy Adams. And so he has to deal with... There's a lot of stuff they have to deal with. So let's see what the missions for Man of Steel is. You have to bring back Superman and make him relatable to audiences by making him go through the more struggling to fit into human society and seeing if society will accept him. I believe you can relate through the human side of Superman. And they seem to have those stories going. So if they got that, they're all set. Number 2, you have to reintroduce Superman to the new generation. Not try to capture what already was, because if you want to recapture the old movies, just go watch the old movies. That Superman Returns failed in that. So they got to reintroduce Superman in a new way to this audience. From the way it looks like, the way he flies, and they're going for a CGI cape, I think that was the right call, because it does look, it looks real, and it looks cooler floating in the wind like that. So I think that was a good call. Now, and of course, the number one thing that everyone wanted Superman to do in Superman Returns, and he never did, punch someone! That was the number one thing that everyone complained. Superman didn't fight anyone. Except for a guy who had that big machine gun. But that's like shooting at like a Tyrannosaurus Rex with a pea shooter. You're not going to do anything, buddy. And so we get this quick scene. Thank you. That shows that there's going to be some action. Some punches flying, some buildings crashing, some people in danger while Superman is fighting. He'll have to save them and fight Zod at the same time. And his sidekick, I believe the girl is there. Her name was Ursa in Superman 2, but that's not her name because apparently that wasn't her name in the comic books. And so they're going with the comic book name this time. So I believe she's there. I'm not sure if that third guy is there. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. But anyway, Superman has to deal with Zod, and he has to deal with a whole bunch of stuff. So I think it's gonna... What is my biggest fear? That they blow it. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't want to speculate on how they could blow it. But if they wreck Superman now, if they destroy the Superman movie franchise now, it is not happening for at least another 10 to 20 years. Because what are you going to do? Reboot it again? Right after? Just keep on rebooting the sucker until you get it right? No, you guys got one shot. One shot. That's all they got. One shot to make a good movie. But from what I hear, it's turning out to be a really good movie. I'm very hopeful. So that would be my biggest fear, that this movie fails on some level, and therefore we just don't like it. And you just killed Superman right there. Didn't even need kryptonite. You just needed a poor box office. So what am I looking forward to? Everything. I'm looking forward to seeing someone do something completely different with Superman and Clark Kent with Henry Cavill. I want to see him not try to copy Christopher Reeves. I want to see him do his own thing. I want to see him try to make, just make his own Superman, but to try to stay to the comic books. The comic books are what you gotta try to stay true to. That's your number one priority. You can stay true to the movies, the old movies, secondary, true to what the comics are like, and the good portrayals of that. That's the number one. That's the number one thing that you got to stick to.
For some, he was a guardian angel. For others, a ghost who never quite fit in.
You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards. They will race behind you. They will stumble. They will fall. But in time, they will join you in the sun. In time, you will help them accomplish wonders.
You believe your son is safe? I will find him!
And this is kind of a little thing. This is a little hope. I hope that they wheel it in there that there's a slight possibility for a Supergirl movie. I know, I've just been really enjoying this book, and I'm going to review it. I will review it soon. The new Supergirl book. I've been really finding her a lot of fun. I just don't. I'm not saying I want there to be 100%. There's definitely a Supergirl movie in the mix. I just want there to be like a slight possibility. Maybe like Jor-El goes by his brother, and says, "If you want your daughter saved, you better get to work right now." And then his brother runs off, and then we don't see him again. You can work that in there somehow. Just together, just give us a slight hint of hope that there could be, maybe, tiny in the future, far in the future, a Supergirl movie. Because, guys, we need a good superheroine movie. Why isn't DC on a Wonder Woman movie right now? Seriously, they would be filling a hole that Marvel has not filled. Marvel has not filled the woman superhero because they don't have as many good ones as DC does. So why doesn't DC get on that? I digress. So it's just a little hope that I have that they can maybe squeeze in a little possibility that there could be a Supergirl movie later in the future. A good one. So I'm sad enough. What is my excitement rating for this movie? On the edge of my seat, excitement. That's how excited I am. I cannot wait for this movie to come out. I'll be on the edge of my seat. I'll be as in front of the line. I might even go to the midnight showing, and I don't even go to midnight showings. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see the Man of Steel done right in the movie world once again. It's been too long. Since Superman 2. And yet, we're right back to Zod. I'm just saying, that's what I want. I want a good Superman movie. And it looks like we very well might get it. So, I'm LaserD99. Thanks for watching my superhero prediction video of The Man of Steel. Be sure to check out my other ones if you haven't seen them yet. Or if you don't want to, then don't. I don't care what you do. If you don't want, I'm tired of your attitude. Anyway. Sorry. See you around, guys. Hoping that get my fingers crossed. Actually, I don't do that. Praying that these movies will be good. And that we'll have a great year for superhero flicks. See you around. Be sure to check out more of my other videos on my channel. And wait for more coming soon. Perry White, who's played by Lawrence Fishburne, and Lois Lane, of course, is played by Amy Adams. Sheesh, I couldn't remember.